Have you ever met someone who just endures? Not in a passive, defeated way, but with a quiet strength that feels almost unshakable. While everyone else is venting about the weather, the traffic, or the difficult boss, this person remains composed. They acknowledge the problem, sure, but they don't dwell on it. They don't complain. In our culture, we often mistake venting for emotional release. We think that letting it all out is the only way to feel better. But psychology suggests something different. It suggests that the people who rarely complain aren't repressing their emotions, they are actually mastering them. Today, we are going to explore why people who never complain possess a unique psychological power, and how silence, when used correctly, is the loudest form of strength. To understand why not complaining is powerful, we first have to understand what complaining actually does to your brain. Feels like relief, doesn't it? You get frustration off your chest. But neuroscience tells a darker story. When you complain, your brain releases stress hormones like cortisol. This is the fight or flight chemical. While useful in actual danger, chronic exposure to cortisol shrinks the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for problem solving and memory. But it gets worse. The brain is wired for efficiency. It follows a principle called Hebbian learning, often summarized as neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you complain, you are physically strengthening the neural pathways associated with negativity. You are training your brain to see the problem faster than the solution. Imagine your brain is a hiking trail. The more you walk the path of complaint, the wider and easier that path becomes. Eventually, it becomes a highway. The path of gratitude or solution-seeking becomes overgrown and hard to access. The person who doesn't complain has stopped walking that path. They are preserving their cognitive function. By refusing to engage in the loop of negativity, they keep their hippocampus healthy and their ability to solve problems sharp. Their power starts with biology. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Isn't it unhealthy to bottle things up? Freud called this catharsis, the idea that releasing aggressive energy relieves the pressure. For decades, pop psychology told us to punch a pillow if we were angry. But modern research, including studies from Iowa State University, shows that venting often backfires. Punching the pillow doesn't release the anger. It rehearses it. It keeps the physiological arousal high. The powerful person understands the difference between suppression and transmutation. Suppression is ignoring the problem and pretending it doesn't exist. That is unhealthy. But the non-complainer isn't ignoring reality. They are accepting it radically. Radical acceptance is a concept from dialectical behavior therapy, DBT. It means accepting reality exactly as it is, without judgment or attempts to fight it. Complaining is essentially a refusal to accept reality. We say, "It shouldn't be raining," or "He shouldn't be so rude," but it is raining. He is rude. The person who doesn't complain accepts the is-ness of the situation immediately. This saves them massive amounts of energy. While others are exhausted from fighting reality with their words, the non-complainer has all that energy available to actually deal with the situation. This brings us to one of the most significant concepts in personality psychology, the locus of control. This concept, developed by Julian Rotter in the 1950s, divides people into two camps. Those with an external locus of control believe that life happens to them. They feel like victims of circumstance, luck, or other people's actions. Because they feel powerless to change things, their only recourse is to complain. It's a plea for sympathy because they cannot act. On the other hand, people with an internal locus of control believe they are responsible for their own outcomes. If they don't like something, they believe they have the power to change it. The person who never complains almost always possesses a high internal locus of control. They view a problem as a variable in an equation they are trying to solve. If the traffic is bad, they don't moan about the city planners. They leave earlier next time or use the time to listen to a podcast. Complaining is passive. Action is active. By not complaining, they are silently affirming to themselves, "I am in charge here." This self-belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, leading to higher achievement and resilience. Let's move away from the internal and look at the external. How does not complaining affect your social standing and influence? We are social creatures, and we catch emotions from one another. This is called emotional contagion. Have you ever had a coworker who comes in every morning sighing about their commute? Within 5 minutes, the whole office feels heavy. That person is an energy vampire. Now, think of the person who remains stoic during a crisis. When everyone else is panicking and pointing fingers, this person is calm. Who do you look to for leadership? Who do you trust? You trust the person who isn't falling apart. Not complaining signals high status. From an evolutionary perspective, the alpha, the leader, is the one who can endure the most discomfort without signaling distress. Distress signals vulnerability. By withholding complaints, you signal that you have resources in reserve. You signal competence. People naturally gravitate toward this stability. The non-complainer becomes the anchor in the storm. Their power is social influence. They don't demand respect. They command it through their composure. We can't talk about this topic without touching on Stoicism. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, viewed complaining as an offense against nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything that happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be so." The modern, powerful person is often an accidental Stoic. They practice what is called the discipline of assent. This is the ability to separate an objective event from your subjective judgment of it. The complaint adds a layer of suffering that didn't exist in the event itself. The suffering is created entirely by the judgment. The powerful person eliminates the judgment layer. They strip the event down to raw data. This makes them incredibly efficient. They don't waste time on the emotional narrative of, "Why me?" They skip straight to the mechanics of, "What now?" So, if you want to tap into this power, how do you stop complaining? It's not about becoming a robot. It's about restructuring your mind. Here are 3 psychological tools you can use starting today. 1. The 24-hour rule. Before you voice a negative opinion about a situation, wait 24 hours. Most complaints are impulsive reactions to immediate discomfort. By waiting, you allow your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, to catch up with your amygdala, the emotional center. Often, after 24 hours, the urge to complain has vanished because the emotion has passed. 2. Shift from why to how. Complaints usually start with why. Why is he like this? Why is this happening? Train yourself to catch that word and replace it with how. How can I fix this? How can I work around this? This simple linguistic shift moves you from a victim mindset, external locus of control, to a solver mindset, internal locus of control. 3. The gratitude sandwich. If you must address a negative issue, because sometimes we do need to give negative feedback, sandwich it. State something positive, address the issue factually without emotional loading, and end with a solution-oriented positive. This isn't complaining. This is constructive communication. There is a quote by author Eckhart Tolle that sums this up perfectly. See if you can catch yourself complaining, in either speech or thought, about a situation you find yourself in, what other people do or say, your surroundings, your life situation, even the weather. To complain is always non-acceptance of what is. The people who never complain are powerful because they are at peace with reality. They are not fighting the waves. They are learning to surf. They have more energy, better brain health, stronger relationships, and a deeper sense of control over their lives. Next time you feel the urge to vent, pause. Hold that energy inside. Feel the heat of it. And then, instead of letting it escape as steam, use it as fuel to drive the engine of action. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing to Why They Do. We dive deep into the psychology of self-improvement. And let me know in the comments. Do you have someone in your life who never complains? How does their presence make you feel? I'll see you in the next video. Stay powerful.